So students, now we are going to start with the female reproductive part, that is the pistil, megasporangium and the embryo sac. So starting with the pistil, megasporangium, that is also known as ovule, and the embryo sac. Okay, so we all are knowing that pistil or the carpel represents female reproductive system, right? So pistil or maybe carpel is acting as female reproductive system in various flowering plants. The number of pistil can be different in different plants. For example, it can be single, and single बोले तो मोना डार्लिंग एक ही होती है, right? So pistil if single है तो उसको हम बोलेंगे मोना, that is monocarpellary, where mono stands for single carpel. Or there can be many. If many, then we can write multicarpellary flower. In multicarpellary flower, again we can have two types of structures. If all the carpels are free, then that structure is known as apocarpus, where carpels are free from each other. Or maybe if they are united, so that is known as syncarpus, where all carpels remain united or joined. So basically carpel, depending on number, can be divided in this way. Now carpel is having mainly three structures. The three structures are, first, that is known as stigma. So if I want to show the diagram, this is stigma. This entire structure represents carpel, where this is stigma. And stigma, it acts as landing platform for pollen grains. So pollen grains आएगी through pollination and will land it on the stigma platform. So stigma will act as landing platform for pollens. That is stigma. Second is style. Slender stalk-like structure. This is known as style. And the last one, that is known as ovary, which is basal, bulge portion, bulge, or maybe you can say the swollen structure, that is known as ovary. In ovary, we are having ovarian locule. Again, the word meaning of locule is cavity. You can see here ovarian locule is found, right? So ovarian locule is there, in which one can have ovule attached to placenta present in ovary. तो कैसे होगा प्लेसेंटा? जस्ट पुटिंग दिस एज प्लेसेंटा, मान लो ये प्लेसेंटा है, एंड उसी के साथ अटैच स्ट्रक्चर जो है दैट इज ओव्यूल, लाइक दिस. ओके, नाउ ovule can be single, can be many. So again, depending on that, it can be single. Example is wheat, paddy, or maybe mango. कैसे पता पड़ेगा? जिसमें से एक सीड निकल रहा है उसका ओव्यूल एक था. मैंगो आप खाओगे तो गुठली एक ही निकलती है. So that's why I can say that it was having single ovule, while it can be many also. It can be many also. Example is papaya, maybe watermelon. You must have seen many seeds present in papaya and watermelon. So that is the actual structure of carpel we have seen. Now, just to show you the apocarpus syncarpus structure, I am showing you certain diagrams. Let me start with the hibiscus flower. Hibiscus flower, if I remove all other parts like the calyx, corolla and the stamens also, then what the structure is going to remain there? Then it will have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. This kind of structure will be there. So here I can say that in hibiscus this is having pentacarpellary syncarpus structure. Again, syncarpus का meaning हुआ attached है, joined है. But how many carpels are there? So 5 carpels are there. One more structure is found, that is known as multicarpellary syncarpus structure. Multi means many, but all are attached, so that's why known as multicarpellary syncarpus structure, found in papaver flower. Now you can see here there are many carpels, 1, 2, 3, 4, many and many, right? And those are attached to each other, forming ultimately syncarpus structure. So this is for papaver flower. Next is one more example we need to understand, and that is for multicarpellary but apocarpus structure. Apocarpus means they are not attached to each other. So the structure can be shown like this. So many carpels you can see here, but all are free from each other, and that's why they are forming different ovaries. This structure is found in Michelia. Michelia flower is the example for multicarpellary apocarpus flower. So now we have to understand the structure of ovule, which is also known as megasporangium, right? So starting with the structure of ovule or megasporangium. Now before starting with the structure, we need to understand that there are 6 types of ovules which are found in different flowering plants. 6 different types of ovules we are not going to study. But let me give the names of those ovules. Those are known as anatropous, orthotropous, hemitropous, campylotropous, circinotropous, and the amphitropous. Now, among that, we are going to study or we are going to discuss about only these 2 type of ovules. This rest we are going to cover it into neat portion. The classification of ovule is actually based on the position of. So, classification is based on funiculus, micropyle, and the chalaza regions. Now, what are these regions? So, actually funiculus is the structure through which ovule get attached. Ovule get attached to placenta. That stalk-like structure is known as funiculus. Micropyle area is the area which is known as the entry point of pollen tube, and the chalaza region, it is opposite part to micropyle area. Now, first orthotropous. Orthotropous ovule is having this kind of structure. So, this area which is stalk-like structure, that is known as funiculus. The entry point of pollen tube is here. So, this is known as micropylar area. And just opposite to micropylar area, that is connection of ovule to funiculus. That also we can write here in chalaza, that it is also known as connection of ovule to funiculus. That is known as chalaza region. In orthotropous, ortho stands for straight, straight, and tropous means turn. So it is straight turn, no other type of turning is found. Very primitive type of ovule and found in very rare or maybe very less angiospermic flowers. But how to identify that it is orthotropous? For that you should know that in orthotropous, the micropyle, the chalaza and the funiculus all lie in one line, one straight line. in one line. You can see here micropyle, then chalaza and the funiculus. Single straight line they are present. And that's why it is known as the orthotropous ovule. Majority all of the organisms, they are having anatropous. Approximately 80-25% angiospermic flowers, they will have anatropous. Okay, then this is the structure of anatropous, or maybe the same structure you can show it like this also. And one more is here, like this. Okay. So the idea of anatropous is ana मतलब टर्न हो रहा है वो in backside, right? So this is backside and tropous मतलब turn. So ovule turns around, and because of that now the funiculus and micropylar area, they arrange side by side. They get arranged side by side. So this is the entry of pollen tube area, right? So this area is known as micropyle, and along with that this is funiculus. So this is F. So now you can see here micropylar and the funiculus area are arranged side by side to each other. Same way here also. This is entry point of pollen tube. So this area is also known as micropyle, and this is the funiculus. So both get arranged side by side to each other. So this is typical angiosperm ovule structure. Basic difference here, they were lying in one line. Here they are lying side by side to each other. आपकी टेक्स्ट बुक में ये डायग्राम दिया है. अगर मैं ये डायग्राम भी ले रही हूं, so then nothing is wrong in that, because the idea is micropyle and the funiculus, they remain side by side to each other. So now I am going to explain you the structure of typical angiospermic ovule, and we need to understand the various parts of that, right? So that is anatropous ovule. Typical anatropous ovule. So again the structure is like this. And here this is the structure forming the funiculus. Okay. So now here we are going to start with the structure of typical ovule, where ovule get attached to placenta by a stalk-like structure, and stalk-like structure that is known as funiculus, known as funiculus. Okay, now the area where this funiculus get attached to ovule for the attachment to placenta, that attachment, so this is funicle, stalk-like structure which is present, that is funicle or funiculus, and the area actually where it get attached. So the attachment point or attachment surface, that is known as hilum. Known as hilum. All ovules are having one or two protecting envelopes, and these envelopes are known as integuments. Known as integuments. You can see here, these two are integuments, where you can see here that integuments cover the entire structure but leaving one end as opening, and that is here. Again repeating that integuments cover the entire structure by leaving at one side, and that is known as micropylar area or known as micropyle. So this area is known as micropyle. The integuments they surround a structure which is known as nucellus. So integuments surround the structure known as nucellus, and this nucellus is responsible for providing nourishment. It is having dense cytoplasm and made up of parenchymatous tissue. So this area, little draw smaller. So this area is known as nucellus, and it is having at the center, it is having structure known as the embryo sac present there. So this structure is known as embryo sac, having one cell known as megaspore mother cell, or rather I can write MMC, megaspore mother cell. So this is the structure where, again I am repeating, entire ovule, it is known as megasporangium. Typically anatropous structure we are going to study, because majority all flowering plants are having anatropous ovule. Ovule get attached to placenta by a stalk-like structure, and that is known as funiculus. You can see here this stalk-like structure, funiculus. The attachment of funiculus to ovule, that attachment point is known as hilum. After that, one or two envelopes are there which are responsible for giving protection, and those are known as integuments. Integuments surround the entire structure, but at one point they are leaving little space. and that area is known as micropyle. You can see here it is surrounding the entire part. But here there is a space, and that's why this area is known as the micropylar area. Just opposite to micropylar area, ये micropyle है तो opposite to it, that area is known as Caleza region. So opposite to micropyle, the area it is known as Caleza region, or you can say Calezal end. This is micropylar end, this is Calezal end. Now, the entire structure is protected by integuments, and that area which is protected by integument, that area is full of nourishment material. That is known as nucellus, providing food to the developing embryo. And at the center we are having embryo sac, which is having one single cell, that is known as megaspore mother cell. Now from that, megaspore formation will take place. Now we are going to start with the next step of the female reproductive system, and that is the megasporogenesis. Okay, so how megaspores are formed, that we need to understand, and that process is known as megasporogenesis. We all know that the nucellus is going to differentiate in one cell, and that one cell is known as megaspore mother cell, or you can write MMC. The ploidy of MMC will be diploid. This megaspore mother cell will now show meiotic cell division. So undergoes meiosis, and because of that it is going to produce 4 megaspores, and the ploidy will be haploid because reductional division has taken place. Now out of 4, 3 megaspores get discarded, and only 1 remain as functional megaspore. Again I am repeating that 4 megaspores have been produced, and from that only 1 megaspore is going to remain as active megaspore and will show further development. This type of development is known as monosporic development, and it was shown by Panchanan Maheshwari, scientist. According to him, the spore development, if it is occurring from single spore, that it is known as monodarling, एक ही होती है, that is monosporic development. If it occurs from 2 spores, then it is known as bisporic, and if it occurs from all 4, then it is known as tetrasporic. Right? So that was shown by Panchanan Maheshwari, and here we are going to follow the monosporic development, and from that this megaspore, out of 4, only 1 megaspore will become functional, only 1 megaspore. Right? Now we need to understand the development of megaspore for the complete formation of female gametophyte. So now I am going to start with the female gametophyte development. Female gametophyte development. We have already studied that single megaspore is there, which is going to develop into female gametophyte. Here if I want to ask you one question, that what can be the ploidy of Nucellus, maybe MMC, megaspore and the embryo sac. What can be the ploidy of these structures? We all know Nucellus has been formed before meiosis. So this will be diploid. Even MMC is also having diploid chromosomes. But megaspore has been formed after meiotic division. So this will be haploid. And embryo sac formation, that is development of this megaspore, is also going to take place, and which is after meiosis. So this will become haploid. Fine. Female gametophyte. So just I am drawing the structure. This is the nucellus part, and inside it one cell is formed, that is known as megaspore mother cell. This area is the micropylar end. Okay, and this structure is known as MMC. Right? Now, from that MMC, megaspore formation has taken place. And from those megaspores, only one megaspore will remain active. So, just assuming that this is the active megaspore. Now that megaspore, so I am along with that I am writing here also. So what happens actually? First of all, MMC was there, which is having diploid chromosomes. Now meiotic cell division took place, and because of that you are having 4 megaspores with haploid chromosomes, out of which only one megaspore will remain active. Now this one megaspore divides mitotically again. So this divides mitotically. So I will write here mitosis, and because of that 2 nuclei formation will take place. So showing you here the structure. Now again, these are the nucellus cells. And now 2 new cells have been formed, or rather I can say 2 nuclei formation has taken place, and both will go to opposite poles. So 2 nuclei, they go to opposite poles, and this condition is known as dyad condition, or you can say 2 nuclei condition. Now again one more time mitosis formation is there. So one more time mitosis happens. So now 2 nuclei get converted into 4 nuclei. So 4 nuclei formation takes place. So again here again nucellus cells. You can show if you want here the structure like cell-like structure, and now at both ends we are having 1, 2 at one end, 3 and 4 at another end. So that's how 4 nuclei, or you can say tetrad formation has taken place. Again this is micropylar end. I can write by M. This is micropylar end. The same structure I can show you one more way here. This is one cell, micropylar end, calyzal end. Then again mitosis has taken place. So 1 and 2. Two nuclei dyad condition. Again one more time mitosis, and because of that now same structure 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So tetrad condition has been formed. One more time mitosis takes place. So 4 nuclei get converted into 8 nuclei. So now here you can see 4 over here and 4 over here. Thus how 8 nuclei due to 3 time mitosis, 1, 2 and 3 time mitotic division has taken place, and because of that 8 nuclei formation has been taken place. Now again and again I am using word nuclei and not the cell. Why? Because all these divisions are of free nuclear division. Why the word has been given free nuclear division? Because nuclear division is not followed by cytoplasm division immediately. Cytoplasm division होगा, but last में जब सब कुछ हो जाएगा, जब वापस completely 8 nuclear formation हो जाएगा, तब जाके cytoplasm division and cell wall formation होगा. तब तक वो सेल नहीं बने हैं. They are only in the form of nuclei. So nuclear division is not followed by cytoplasmic division immediately. Right? Now this 8 nuclei, they get arranged. This area again I am saying you micropylar area, and this is calyzal end. So they get arranged, and because of that now at micropylar area, now in your book the diagram has been shown in different way. कैसे? They have shown like this. ये micropylar दिखाया है, ध्यान रखना है, गलती मत करना. So at micropylar end 3 cells unite together. So here cell wall formation will take place, and because of that cell wall boundary will be created, and because of that now nuclei we can see them as the cells, right? But out of 8 nuclei, cell wall formation occurs for 6 only. For 6 only. So how those cells get arranged? 3 cells get arranged here. So 1 and 2. These two are known as synergid cells. Synergid का मतलब होता है साथ साथ रहना. And they are having special cell wall thickening. So the cell wall thickening is found here. These are cell wall thickening, and that cell wall thickening, it is known as filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus. क्या काम है? This filiform apparatus help the pollen tube to enter from where and where to go. So they are actually helping, or they are actually acting as guide to pollen tube. You all know, जब pollen tube आता है तो it will enter from micropylar area. So if pollen tube is coming from this area, if this is pollen tube, so from where they need to release their male gametes, that is, male gametes are present here. So that instruction is guided with the help of filiform apparatus. Okay. So 2 are synergid cells. एक होगी अपनी हीरोइनी, जिसको हम बोलेंगे ओवम. So here ovum formation has taken place. So together ovum and synergid cells. Again I am repeating, ovum along with 2 synergid cells, so total 3 हो गए. Those are going to form egg apparatus. Going to form egg apparatus. This is micropyle, so obviously this will be callosal end. At callosal end, 3 more cells get arranged. So 1, 2 and 3. These cells are known as, all 3 cells are known as antipodal cells. Known as antipodal cells. And at the center of cell, 2 nuclei are not having that cell wall. मैंने बताया था 8 में से 6 को ही cell wall formation हुआ था. So rest of the 2 nuclei get arranged here. And those are known as polar nuclei. This is the structure of female gametophyte or embryo sac. So I can always write that female gametophyte or maybe embryo sac is having total कितने cells होंगे? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and together इसको एक काउंट कर लिया, इसके आसपास हो जाएगा. So total 7 cells and along with that 8 nuclei. Why 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Though there are 8 nuclei, the cell formation occurs for only 7. So this is typical structure of the female gametophyte of angiospermic plant.